welcome to FDN News. I'm James Ely. Our top story tonight, an HU alum is stated to make her singing debut on national television in the next few weeks. 2017 graduate Christiana Hicks recently auditioned for NBC's singing competition show, The Voice. The Student Activities Board on campus is hosting a viewing party every Monday and Tuesday night during the weeks of the blind auditions, where students can participate in games, competitions, and show their support for Christiana. Christiana and her family were in attendance on Monday night for the show's season premiere. SAB encourages students to sign up for their own singing competition on Monday, March 5th during the show for a chance to win $75. Senior SAB member Quentin Worthy was surprised by the large turnout.
Actually, the turnout was really nice, more than I expected. It's Monday nights, students are getting back into classes and whatnot, but a lot of people came back in to give a big turnout and show that encouragement and support. And we didn't even know Christiana herself was going to be here tonight, so that was even more better.
You can join the viewing party in the Hub every Monday and Tuesday night for the next 2 weeks. Last March, Huntington University announced that they will be adding a new attraction to campus. About a year later, the new greenhouse is complete and in use. The greenhouse will be used by the Agricultural Department and Horticultural Club, adding nearly 2,000 square feet to the Science Hall. It's home to hundreds of plants, moved from original greenhouse on the second floor of the Science Hall. Leaders tell FDN this project has been in the works for almost 2 years.
We've got all this space in it, and we've got some plants behind us that we just planted and others that have been growing upstairs that we brought down. So we're looking to really fill up the space in here for the agriculture side. Now this part of the greenhouse right here is mainly used for the teaching of classes, and we also have a whole other room which is used for, will be used for production and for plants that are used by the Hort Club and by Dr. Hobbs' biology program, especially in the botany area and whatever plants he sees fit.
Leaders with HU would like to thank all the donors who helped to fund the new greenhouse. You've probably seen news of the recent school shooting in Florida. A former student there was shot and killed 17 of his peers at a high school. As a result, Huntington University is training faculty members on how to respond to an active shooter. Faculty met this Wednesday with a group of local police. The officers told faculty to first run, then hide, and prepare to fight. Leaders say this training could save lives if someone threatened HU.
The Huntington University faculty met with Justin Faw, our police officer, and sheriff from the Huntington County Police Office to talk about an active shooter protocol. So what do you do in terms of an active shooter situation on campus? And they kind of went through some of the principles.
Following the Florida shooting, many schools have been updating their security protocols. HU leaders say safety is a top priority. They recently hired a full-time campus police officer. 50 years to go today, someone placed the first 911 call in the state of Indiana, right here in Huntington. U.S. Representative J. Edward Roush from Huntington, known as the father of 911, launched a one-man campaign to bring a single national number to reach emergency services. Mayor Brooks Fetter honors the late congressman by proclaiming today Congressman J. Edward Roush Day. Members of the Roush family were in attendance and presented with an award by Treasurer Mitchell and Ed Reuter, the executive director of the statewide 911 board. Roush's children, Joel Roush and Melody Wright, are amazed by the impact of their father's campaign that has brought.
And it's an honor for us just to see the number 911 be so universal.
My dad would just be so happy that it's affected so many people, because that's what he was all about. He really wanted to serve the people.
Since someone placed the first 911 call through AT&T-owned Indiana Bell Service on March 1, 1968, there are now 240 million calls made to 911 in the United States each year. They say April's showers bring May flowers, but the rain has certainly come earlier this year. After a cold winter, Lake Snowtip thawed quickly with the help of some rain in the past few weeks. Along with the usual flooding of several walkways on campus, the lake itself has been abnormally high, following serious rain. Some parts of eastern and southern Indiana have seen excessive flooding following winter rain storms. But Huntington has been lucky to only see a few extra inches of rain in the month of February to mark an early spring. According to Butch Williams, Huntington County has actually seen an almost average rainfall for the month.
We're a little over 4 inches for the month of February, which we're at the end of the month now. Our normal rainfall is a little over 2 inches, about 2.18 inches for February for Huntington County. So we're double our rainfall rate, but we are very fortunate compared to some other areas of Indiana.
While February was a wet month, March has the potential to be even wetter. Right now it's currently sleeting outside, and with La Nina contributing to more extreme weather, be on the lookout for weather alerts in the coming weeks. And speaking of springtime, it's coming pretty soon, right, Bray?
Yeah, I mean, baseball season is just around the corner now that we're hitting springtime, but basketball season just finished up, this past weekend. We've got some highlights from the men's game at Indiana Wesleyan, the semifinals of the Crossroads League tournament. So you can see here, 7-6 towards the beginning of the game. Indiana Wesleyan came out hot, but Huntington stayed close. But a three from the corner of Coffey started off the game for the Wildcats. Mike Bush had a good game, though, and later in the second half put up a three, missed, but rebounded by Trevor Lockwood, the senior, with a big slam, throws it down, cutting the lead to 0. So it went to 30-30. Now Trevor Lockwood on the ensuing possession, big block that time, sending it out of bounds. But then later in the first half, a nice alley-oop pass from Maxwell to Okafor, giving the Wesleyan Wildcats a little bit of a lead. Mike Bush inside, another good find to Trevor Lockwood inside, takes a moment to collect and goes with the right hand. That's how the first half ended. Now Mike Bush to start off the second half came the other way with it, drove inside, missed. And then you see the Wildcats go the other way with it, going pretty quickly. This was pretty much the Wildcats' MO, push transition quickly. Coffey with the transition three, pulls it up and gets it to go. Indiana Wesleyan really stretched out their lead at the beginning of the second half, and Mike Bush here losing the ball behind the back. Tyler Ahrens trying to stop Johnson inside, who misses, collects the ball, and goes back up with it, giving the Wildcats another big lead. Now Connor Platt here, time running down. The Foresters really just couldn't get anything going offensively, but Connor Platt would score the next to last bucket for the Foresters, and that is how it would end inside Lucky Arena. A good end, not actually a good end to the season for the Foresters, but a good season so far. The seniors really putting in some good work. Coming up this week, though, baseball is making a return to campus. Huntington's home opener will be against Missouri Baptist next Tuesday, March 6th at 5 p.m. If you can't make it to the game, you can check us out on FDN Sports at Twitter, FDN_sports, and you can look for our link to the broadcast. This will be our first broadcast with a new system that will allow us to use instant replay, so you will not want to miss it.
Well, that's all we have for you on this edition of Springtime FDN News.
You can check us out online at Twitter at FDN_news, and make sure to check us out on our new website, foresterdigital.net.
Have a good night.